Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing an Orcust deck profile utilizing the Adventure and Horus engines with Harp Horror to 3. I think the deck can take an interesting path down using the Adventure cards. Obviously the Adventure cards have a restriction on your normal summon, so something like Gearsu obviously loses a bit of value with the Adventures, but between 3 Harp and 3 Knightmare as great cards to discard to access your Orcust engine, this is just something that I wanted to try out. So the Adventure cards do discard through Fateful Adventure. The Horus cards obviously discard through Imseti and King Sarcophagus. So this is just an idea that I'm testing. So far I've been really enjoying the deck and the playstyle. Whether or not it's the best idea is to be seen, but I really enjoy like kind of the consistency and the things that the deck is able to do, especially setting up negates with the Adventure cards as well as the Horus stuff to ensure that your plays do go through. So the Orcust engine has 3 Harp and 3 Knightmare. You really want to see one of these because this is what gets your engine going. I'm playing 2 Gearsu. You could play 3, but I'm just trying to minimize the conflictions between the Gearsu and the Adventure engine. You can always normal summon a Harp if you have to as well, if you have extenders. And then I'm playing 1 symbol and 1 wand. A second symbol would be nice, but I'm also just trying to, trim the fat, as they say, on some of the cards here. So a second symbol would be good, but just not sure where that fits in. 1 Foolish, 1 Babble, and 1 Crescendo. I have cut the Return. Again, it's a card that's nice, but just trying to, just minimize some of the cards that you don't necessarily want to draw. I mean, Return's fine, but yeah, I'm just trying some different things to fit more non-engine and things like that. For the Horus cards, we're playing 3 Imseti, playing 1 Duomatef. This is a cuttable card. We're playing 41, so this could be something that you replace with a second symbol, or a Orchestrated Return could be where the Duomatef goes. And then of course Happy, and run 3 King Sarcophagus because you just want to see a card that lets you discard. So between King Sarcophagus, Imseti, any of the Adventure stuff, that's just generally what you're looking for in the deck. For the Adventure side, we've got the 3 Enchantress, the 1 Griffin, 2 Right, 1 Fateful, and 1 Dracoback. Again, Dracoback's almost cuttable as well. You could probably just like take out this, you could take out Duomatef, that puts you down to 39 cards. There's definitely things you could do ratio-wise. This obviously makes the Adventure engine more useful going second, but yeah, it's really nice. You can obviously discard this when you have the token up as well, and this comes back. It becomes free discard fodder if you don't open as many discards like the Orcust cards as you would need. It's a free send with droplet, which always feels pretty nice as well. And then for non-engine, it doesn't matter what these are. There's space for 12. So just that doesn't really matter too much. I've gone just for a mixed board breaker hand trap approach because obviously droplet's always crazy. Impermanent Asher, fine. You could play like Droll and Nib. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. There's just 12 spots. Again, you could make it 13 with the Dracoback. You could make it 14 if you take out the Duomatef, and you'd have even more options. Another thing you could consider is like go all board breakers and play like thrusts and things like that, because you can obviously thrust for something like Foolish Burial. You can thrust for Rite of Aramasir. There's things you can do with it, which is nice. So that's the deck. That's 41 cards. The extra deck, we have 2 Galatea and 1 Long Gearsu, just for the Orcust things. And then again, you can definitely play with some of these cards. I just think Goddess is a crazy card. Boral Swords just to help win games. SP, IP, Dark. I'm playing Barricade Board Blocker because with things like Fateful Adventure, the Orcust Field Spell, King Sarcophagus, there's things that this can actually add back. And it's obviously a Dark Machine you can make. Link Spider, and then XC's got Double Ding Gearsu, Zombie Vampire, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, and the Typhon. So, I mean, again, most of these things are fairly changeable. The links are mostly generic. Double Ding, Double Galatea, Long Gearsu, SP, IP, Dark, Link Spider. They're probably, and obviously like the rank 8s, these are probably the mandatory things. There's certainly some things that you could play around with. But that is the main and extra, I'll do some test hands just to kind of show you what the deck is aiming to do. Okay, so I'll do some test hands. I think the deck is probably fairly self-explanatory. You're using either the Horus cards or the Adventure cards to set up negations prior to accessing your Orcust engine, and then you're doing Orcust things to kind of finish. So we're looking for end boards like Galaxy's Photon Lord or Griffin Rider, IP on the board with Babel, Dingy to Engrave. Things of that nature is generally what we're aiming to accomplish. So we'll see how we go. For our first hand, we've got Rite of Aramasir, Duamatef, Imseti, King Sarcophagus, and Impermanence. So when we're looking at this, obviously Rite is great for setting up the negation. The Imseti stuff is really useful for getting us to our Orcust engine in this case. We've got to decide, like, this is the engine that is most flexible. We can either set up negation or we can go for engine with Zombie Vampire and just hope to hit. So obviously Rite is going to get us to a bit of a negation to start with. So we'll use the Rite of Aramasir. That's going to summon out a token and place Fateful Adventure. From here, we can use the Fateful Adventure. We add the card, then send it. So we'll add the Griffin. And then discard the Duamatef. Then we can activate the Griffin to summon. And now we can trigger the adventure to add the Dracovac. Now, obviously, if we're under draw, we are under draw, and that is unfortunate. But so, I mean, with King Sarcophagus, doesn't matter. But like in this example, draws doesn't exist, and we're just going to try and get the draw and just see if we can draw into something more meaningful as well. So we can fire off Imseti, pitching the Dracovac to add King Sarcophagus, and then draw a card. Obviously, under draw in that example, we would simply King Sarcophagus, pitch the Imseti to send the Happy. Then we've got 3 bodies in the grave that we can bring back and go for Zombie Vampire plus one other thing. We can draw a card. Okay, so it's Ash. So now we're going to have to go for a rank 8. We can go King Sarcophagus here. Obviously the Dracovac will also come back and equip itself. The reason why I'm also going for the Duamatef is because in most of our combos, if we don't need... I like the idea of having one extra Horus monster that we can just leave on the end board as well, because we're generally safe from things like Nibiru if we're setting up the negations. So having like the one Duamatef that can sit on the field or the Happy that can sit on the field, like either of those are generally fine options. They're obviously both very strong. Duamatef for drawing cards, Happy for recursion. But from here, we'll aim for Happy as our kind of piece in the graveyard. So we'll bring both these. And we're going to overlay for the Zombie Vampire. And now we're just going to hope for the best and hope that we hit something. Not a symbol though. Okay, so obviously we did not hit an Orcust with that there. We can summon out a guy. And actually what we'll do is we will summon out the Orcust. Obviously Enchantress is handy as well to grab back rights. Obviously we can, sometimes it's useful for a discard, but what we can do is we can go symbol and zombie into Galatea. We're just trying something extra here. We're not going to be able to use the Galatea effect, which is unfortunate, unless we go for like a second Galatea and go for Crescendo, which is fine. Otherwise we just go for like IPSP, something like that. But what we can do is use King Sarcophagus, ditch one of our cards in hand to send down Happy. Whether or not this is the most ideal play it is what it is, but we're not locked into darks yet. Our other option was to just normal summon the Ash, but I'd rather just keep this as an extra interruption. So we can summon back the Happy. What we can do is we we can either put Dingisu on now, just so we've got Ding into the rotation, which it doesn't really matter because we're going to be shuffling back the symbol to get the negate. So we can just take these two and link them into Galatea again. We can banish the symbol to bring back the Galatea, which gives us a banished card to shuffle and get the negate, which we will do. Actually, no, yeah. And we'll put Ding on top of our second Galatea in the main monster zone there, because then we are. So we've got the Crescendo and throw a Dingisu on top, set the Imperm, and we can call it there. We can move this over here, or we can keep our Galatea linked. It doesn't really matter. That's probably fine. Ash Imperm, obviously with negate, we've got Dingisu just to protect from battle and destruction effects, which is fine. So we've probably got enough to kind of win here. Obviously, we still don't have really any access into our Orcust engine. There's no way to really get there with what we have left as well. We've got Crescendo to kind of get there as well, but we want to use the Horus cards to probably close out the game. But hey, that's our first test hand. So we did kind of access the Orcust engine in a bit of a funny way, but something that you can do for sure. And definitely the end board there was interesting, but probably still strong enough between the hand traps, between the adventure cards, between Orcust Crescendo as well to negate as well. Then the follow up with the Horus cards, and we're probably still sitting pretty. Okay, for our next one, we have Draco back and Knightmare, Griffin Rider, Fateful Adventure, and Triple Tactics Talents. All right, so not the hand you want to see, but we can still kind of make it work. So obviously we're going to go Fateful Adventure first. We're going to use its effect. We're going to add Enchantress. And discard Orcust Knightmare. Then we're going to have to go with Enchantress, so we'll banish that to add Right. If Enchantress was to get ashed for whatever reason, or we got drolled on Adventure, we would be summoning out Griffin and doing a very basic Orcust kind of play there. But fire off Right of Adventure, Right Harem's here now. We can chain the Griffin to summon itself, so with the negate live nice and quick. Fateful will not add a token, the equip, because we've already got it. And then from here, it's going to be a matter of using Knightmare. Now, the only problem with our situation here with our board is that we're going to be losing the Griffin Rider negation here, because we're going to have to link something with Knightmare. Obviously, if this was Harp Horror, it would be a lot stronger, but just to kind of show... Oh, no, I'm sorry, what am I saying? I'm saying all the wrong things. Knightmare, we can target whatever, it doesn't really matter, because we're sending Harp. I'm still used to a Harpless Orcust deck, which is funny because we've had Harp for a while. So now we can go Harp, summon out Gearsu, and obviously Harp into Gearsu is just a crazy strong interaction. Gearsu can send Wand. We can Wand back to Harp. We can link into Galatea. We can Galatea back the Wand. And we are just going to have to go for the, I like going for the Babel, but without a way to get another body, we go for Crescendo, just so we've got something to stop our opponent. And we kind of have to call it there. Yeah, using Knightmare for Harp obviously means that we do kind of lose a little bit of access to bodies. If we have used the Horus engine prior to this, we do get extra bodies to help like kind of link things away. We get the Zombie Vampire to link off. But you can kind of just leave that there. It's obviously not the strongest end board. Having the Horus cards on top of that obviously makes things a lot better. But we'll go for another test hand and see what we get. impermanence, Griffin again, Fateful again, Enchantress, and Imseti. All right, so annoying that we're drawing these 2 cards again, but that's okay. For this one, we'll go straight ahead and go Imseti, pitching Enchantress. It's a pretty great feeling to go Imseti, pitch Enchantress, just it feels like there's so much value. Obviously, if we get drolled, then we lose a bit of that value, but that's okay. So we will draw into Girsu, which is going to be dead under the Enchantress stuff, but it is okay. We're going to go for Enchantress next. Yep. We'll grab the Rite of Aramasir. The thing we have to contemplate with this is, like, instead of doing the Enchantress things, we could go for Galaxy-Eyes Photon Lord with Imseti and using the King Sarcophagus just to insulate the Girsu. We can do that, and that kind of guarantees the Orcust plays. We do lose the kind of like negation over here, which is what it is, but we've got all these cards in hand, we may as well kind of just use them. So we'll go for right, get our token, I would chain the Griffin and summon. Could have put this on the field first, sure, and grab the Draco back, just as a card in the hand. I mean, maybe it was not ideal to do this because we kind of have to hit off the we do now have to hit off Zombie Vampire for the Girsu stuff to be worth it, but it is what it is. We'll go King Sarcophagus, pitch Draco back. We'll throw another Horus into the grave. That's okay because Zombie Vampire is going to hit and it's going to be awesome. We'll go for Zombie Vampire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunate. All right. Well, we got punished. That's okay. So to backtrack it a little bit, if we didn't go down this path, so we still had this, we still had this, we still had this. We had right. Happy was in deck, and this was here. This was here. So instead, what we could have just done is gone for King Sarcophagus. King Sarcophagus has to pitch a card, and then we can send down Happy. And this just gives us a guaranteed play with the Orcust engine. So bring these 2 back. We can go for Galaxy-Eyes Photon Lord. Obviously, if Girsu gets impermed, then we are still just continuing to cry, but it's okay. So we'll go Girsu. Girsu will send Harp. We'll banish Harp. Summon Knightmare. And just go for it. This is just basic Horus stuff. Orcust, Horus. Banish Knightmare. Go for Wand. And then we can go Wand, bring back Harp. Galatea, put back Wand to get Babel. And then we can obviously go for Girsu, get back Knightmare, and then link with Harp into the IP. So this is a very standard Orcust Horus board. Obviously, we didn't get to use the adventure cards. Whether or not we choose to pitch the right. No, what we would have done instead of pitching right, we could have activated the King Sarcophagus. No, the Fateful Adventure. No, we still had to pitch something. So it's fine. No, we would have gone King Sarcophagus, bring back Imseti, trigger Adventure to add Draco back. And then when we go King Sarcophagus to get the Happy, we pitch the Draco back, we keep the right, just so that we've got that unlocked for the next turn if we need it. Yeah, that's a lot better. So we've at least got some of that guaranteed follow-up there. We've obviously got the Orcust engine now firing. We've got Knightmare and Harp in graveyard with Babylon as field as well. The horror stuff, Galaxy-Eyes, IP. We'll do one more and then call it a day. And we're not going to draw the Griffin Rider this time, I'm sure. So that was one hand, but obviously did see some conflict between Adventure and the Orcust stuff, but it doesn't often happen. Okay, so this hand is great. This is just going to look, again, like the Horus Orcust stuff. We've got the Horus stuff to insulate the play. So we'd go Imseti, pitch harp. That's going to go search the King Sarcophagus and draw us a card. I mean, drawing something like Enchantress or Right in this position right here would just be insane. And it's a symbol. That's okay. So we'll go King Sarcophagus. I mean, we can just put Babel on the field just to make harp a quick effect, just in case of a bestial or whatever. Obviously, we should put this on the field first and go from there. But King Sarcophagus will pitch the symbol and send the happy. Bring back our 2 Horus monsters and go for Galaxy Eyes, and then we're just going to do what we were doing before. So it's going to be Harp for Girsu. It's going to be the same play essentially. We'll send down the Knightmare. I don't think we're meant to discard the symbol. We go Knightmare for Wand, Wand for Harp. Yeah, we don't pitch the symbol because we actually do need the normal summon in this case. We probably pitch the talents here, and then we can link these off for Galatea. We Galatea to put back Wand. We're going to get Crescendo now. We normal out the symbol, we make the Dingirsu, we get back the Knightmare. Going to link into the IP, and then we can go ahead and symbol back the Galatea, just so that the negate is online. And then when we get to our opponent's turn, we obviously set the droplet as well. When we get to our opponent's turn, we can shotgun the Babel at any point, put back the symbol. Galatea doesn't have to set a spell trap, it's optional. So you shuffle back the symbol, and then we've got Knightmare later down the line to put the symbol in. And we've got the Crescendo, we've got the symbol for Ding, we've got IP into SP, Galaxy Eyes, got the Flippin' Droplet, the Crescendo obviously, and that becomes very strong. But otherwise, I'm going to leave that one there and definitely give the deck a try if that sounds interesting to you. The adventure cards, yeah, I find them fascinating. Obviously, you could play a lot more non-engine by not playing them. You could bolster out the Orcust lines for sure, but yeah, I just think it's just another interesting way of playing. Obviously, Girsu attracts all of the imperms, veilers, and ashes. That having more ways to discard cards and set up negations before going for your Orcust things is, I don't know, I think that just sounds stronger to me. But yeah, definitely let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.